Why do we see the moon at night? It is made of fire. It produces its own light. It reflects light from the sun. It is a small sun. It reflects light from the sun. The moon does not make its own light, it acts like a giant mirror for sunlight. Which color has the shortest wavelength in the visible spectrum? Yellow, violet, red, orange. Violet. Violet light is at one end of the spectrum and bends the most during refraction. What does an opaque object do to light? It makes it brighter. It blocks or absorbs it. It lets it all pass. It bends it. It blocks or absorbs it. Opaque materials do not allow light to be transmitted through them. Which color is at the top of a typical rainbow? Red, green, violet, blue. Red. Red light has the longest wavelength and is bent the least by raindrops. Which tool is used to separate white light into different colors? A magnifying glass. A mirror. A glass prism. A telescope. A glass prism. A prism refracts each color of light at a slightly different angle. How does light usually travel from a source? In straight lines. In zigzags. In circular paths. It stays in one spot. In straight lines. Light travels in straight paths called rays until it hits an object or surface. What happens when light bounces off a smooth, shiny surface? Absorption. Reflection. Transmission. Refraction. Reflection. Reflection is what allows us to see ourselves in a mirror or a calm lake. Which of these describes a material that light can pass through partially? Reflective. Opaque. Translucent. Transparent. Translucent. You can see light through it, but you cannot see fine details. If you move an object closer to a light source, what happens to its shadow? It gets smaller. It disappears. It stays the same. It gets larger. It gets larger. The object blocks more of the light rays coming from the source. Which of these is an example of a natural light source found at night? Stars. Street lights. Flashlights. Candles. Stars. Stars are distant suns that emit their own light into the universe. What is bioluminescence? Light from a battery. Light from a volcano. Light from a hot stove. Light produced by living organisms. Light produced by living organisms. Fireflies and some deep-sea fish use chemical reactions to make light. What color is created when you combine all the colors of the visible spectrum? Green, white, pink, black. White. White light is actually a mixture of all the colors of the rainbow. Shadows are shortest when the sun is setting in the west, rising in the east, directly overhead, behind a cloud. Directly overhead. When light comes from directly above, the blocked area is smallest. Which of these travels faster than light? A jet plane. Sound. Nothing. Electricity. Nothing. In our current understanding of science, nothing travels faster than the speed of light. Which of these describes an object that allows no light to pass through? Transparent. Translucent. Opaque. Reflective. Opaque. Opaque objects, like bricks or wood, block light completely and cast sharp shadows. What provides the energy for plants to make food? Light from the sun, heat from the ground. Moonlight. Flashlights. Light from the sun. Plants use the energy in sunlight for a process called photosynthesis. What is the name for the bending of light as it passes from air into water? Shadowing. Reflection. Absorption. Refraction. Refraction. Light changes speed when it moves through different materials, causing it to bend. When light hits a rough surface and bounces in many directions, it is called diffuse reflection. Absorption. Regular reflection. Refraction. Diffuse reflection. Rough surfaces scatter light, which is why they do not show a clear image like a mirror. Which color of light is reflected by a green leaf? Red. Yellow. Green. Blue. Green. We see objects as a certain color because they reflect that color and absorb the others. What property of light is responsible for the broken straw effect in water? Reflection. Refraction. Bioluminescence. Opaqueness. Refraction. The straw looks disconnected because light bends as it leaves the water. Which of these would cause light to refract? A pool of water. A brick wall. A dark curtain. A flat mirror. A pool of water. Light bends when it enters water, which is why objects underwater look shifted. What happens to light when it hits a piece of clear, flat glass at an angle? It is all absorbed. It turns into a shadow. Most passes through, but some reflects. It all reflects. Most passes through, but some reflects. This is why you can sometimes see a faint reflection of yourself in a window. Which of these is not a source of light? A star. A candle flame. A flashlight. A mirror. A mirror. A mirror only reflects light, it does not generate light of its own. A magnifying glass uses which property of light to work? Shadowing. Refraction. Absorption. Reflection. Refraction. The curved lens bends light to make an object appear larger. How do we see a book that is not a light source? Our eyes glow in the dark. Light reflects off the book into our eyes. The book produces a small amount of heat. The book is transparent. Light reflects off the book into our eyes. Most objects are only visible because they reflect light from a source like a bulb or the sun. Why can we see through a glass window? Because it is translucent. Because it is opaque. Because it is reflective. Because it is transparent. Because it is transparent. The particles in clear glass allow light rays to pass through without much scattering. Which of these is an example of an artificial light source? A. LED lamp. Stars. Lightning. The sun. A. LED lamp. Artificial light sources are man-made tools used to provide light when needed. What is the primary natural source of light for Earth? Fire. Flashlights. The moon. The sun. The sun. The sun is a star that produces its own light through nuclear reactions. What is formed when an opaque object blocks light? A shadow. A rainbow. A reflection. A glow. A shadow. Shadows always appear on the opposite side of the light source. Which of these is a translucent object? A clear glass bowl. A thick steel door. A piece of clear plastic wrap. A sheet of wax paper. A sheet of wax paper. Translucent materials let some light through but scatter it so objects are not clearly visible. What happens to light when it hits a very clear window? It passes through. It turns into a shadow. It reflects completely. It stops moving. It passes through. Clear glass is transparent, meaning light is transmitted through it. Which of these is a transparent material? Frosted glass. A metal sheet. Clear water. Cardboard. Clear water. Transparent materials allow light to pass through so clearly that you can see what is on the other side. What are the colors of the visible spectrum? Pink, brown, tan. Gold, silver, bronze. Black, white, gray. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. These colors are often remembered by the name ROYGBIV. What is the fastest thing in the universe? Electricity. Light. A rocket. Sound. Light. Light travels at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second. What part of the eye detects light and sends signals to the brain? The tear duct. The retina. The eyelid. The eyebrow. The retina. The retina acts like a screen at the back of the eye that captures images. What happens to white light when it passes through a red filter? It turns into a rainbow. It turns black. It stays white. Only red light passes through. Only red light passes through. The filter absorbs all other colors and allows only red light to be transmitted. What kind of surface is best for seeing a clear reflection? Soft and fuzzy. Rough and dark. Smooth and shiny. Bumpy and bright. Smooth and shiny. Smooth surfaces allow light rays to bounce back in a predictable, uniform way. What is the term for a space that contains no matter and no light-blocking particles? A vacuum. An ocean. A mountain. A forest. A vacuum. Light can travel through a vacuum, which is how sunlight reaches Earth through space. Which of these is a use for a convex lens? Creating a shadow. Making a room dark. A mirror. A magnifying glass. A magnifying glass. Convex lenses bend light inward to a focal point to enlarge images. Which of these surfaces would absorb the most light? A silver mirror. A black velvet cloth. A glass window. A white wall. A black velvet cloth. Dark, rough surfaces absorb light energy and often turn it into heat.